If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There's been an awakening. Have you felt it?
In 1977, George Lucas formed a legacy.
Force is with me, and I am with the Force.
Inspired by mythology, his saga has become a passion for many.
Feel the Force around you.
His legend has become our story.
It's true. Ours.
One of resistance,
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll bring the first order down.
rebellion,
Rebellion is built on hope.
and redemption.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is Star Wars Reactions.
Remember, the Force will be with you. Always.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Star Wars Reactions. We're so excited you're joining us this week. We are going to have an awesome episode. This is an episode, the topic that I've had on my list of topics I wanted to discuss for a while, but it just hasn't worked out and it keeps getting pushed back. But we're doing it this week, come rain or shine. So let's get introductions out of the way. My name is Aaron Harris, one of your hosts here. And again, not joining me this week is the great David Motters. This is normal week off, so he is out having some fun with his family. Normally, this is the week I would do the Saga World Report and bring you all the news that we have not talked about lately, which there's some news. We'll talk about it later. But I am going to be talking with a good friend of the show. You just heard him laugh. You have heard his dulcet tones on the show before, as he has been a guest of ours and as he has been a fill-in host several times this year, as we have gone through probably the craziest year of our lives. So, but yes, I'm talking none other than the incredible host of the Rebel Base Card podcast, the Greg McLaughlin. Greg, welcome back, my friend.
Well, thank you. And I would say not only is David Motters a great co-host, also a tall co-host. I don't think your audience appreciates just how tall this cat is. And you know, he got some moves.
He does. I often think of, and I ought to pull up the poster and do the editing, but when I see me and David together, I think of the Twins poster, Schwarzenegger and DeVito. And I am not Schwarzenegger for the sure, but that's what I think. It works. You got R2 and 3PO. There's a height difference there. You got Han and Chewie, a height difference there. Ezra and Kanan, there's a height difference there. And David and Aaron. It's a Star Wars thing.
But everybody's the same height on the Zoom call. That's the great part. But I would say, nothing was greater, and it was thank you for letting us kind of take over the studio for a bit, when we did the Storm reactions. But it was so great to hear, you and David come back, and then because I think when you go through, new Star Wars, when we get it, as soon as you get done watching it, ingesting it, you really want to hear what everybody else has to think, and so that's not only are we kind of going through, Greg and I are kind of starting our second go through because it came so fast and furious, all the Star Wars. But it's kind of fun to hear what everybody else has to say about it, and everybody's got a different take. And
Hmm.
looking forward to David's psychology minutes on it, and it's fun hearing the dad jokes again, because if you don't listen to the whole thing, you don't get the dad joke. You don't get the full experience unless you listen to the very end. Um, but it was fun. And then, it's also kind of fun when we also kind of trade co-hosts where, we can appear on each other's
Hmm.
podcasts, and you have different combinations. And those are kind of fun too, because, quite frankly, we've got a lot, we do have Star Wars coming up,
Yes, we
but
do.
it's going to be a long, these gaps seem to be forever now.
Yes, yes, they do, and it's it's we got a little bit of ways to go. I mean, between with Visions coming and everything, we got the Lego one coming out in a
Rebuild the
week or two.
Galaxy season
Yeah,
2.
it's coming out in the next couple weeks, and I mean, there's a lot. There's some things going on, but when you're used to the back-to-back shows that were coming,
Hmm.
Andor and Acolyte and Ahsoka and Mando and Random Book of Boba Fett, you get used to the Bad Batch. I mean, all this stuff happens so much so quick. We're not used to having this time to just sit back and go, "Ooh, what do we talk about?" But
But I don't think you're not the only ones in that, and I find myself also. It's like a show can make you very regular, as
yeah,
middle-aged guys like to say. But the other thing is that you have this you feel the stretch of a rubber band, and when it kind of relaxes afterwards, I think
mhm,
everybody's shows just kind of like almost have to hit kind of a reset and go, and now all of a sudden you go from like, oh man, we just went through this Andor season
yep,
series finale, and then it's like, hey, what's your top 5 Phantom Menace quotes? And you're like, all right, I've got to literally, put my head back on a
yep,
swivel. And then, so, and I think it's affected everybody, right? I
yeah,
don't think there's a podcast out there that hasn't, you just ride this wave. And then when it's kind of done, you're like, okay, now what? And
mhm.
it's nice, like for a show like yours, where it's more of your action too, you have plenty of content to go over. You can
Oh
have
yeah,
plenty of content to revisit. Plus, you can take advantage with the news, to sit there and go, hey, we're just gonna talk about some news that's coming up.
yep,
Here's a good place for it here. Oh, let's do it. Let's do a fan chat where we get together.
yep,
So you guys are kind of in a prime spot. Like you guys were doing it before everybody else was doing it. Put it that way, with
yeah.
you moving from one show to another, and then what to do in between. So
That's true.
we can all take a page from your book.
We do have some history, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Exactly.
But that's why we're here tonight. I could have been doing a new show, but I didn't want to because I wanted to tackle just a conversation about a topic that it's been, like I said earlier, it's been on my list to talk about for a while. It is something that thanks to you has gotten near and dear to my heart again. And takes me back to my childhood. Um, and I figured this would be the best time as any to sit down and just talk about Star Wars trading cards.
Ah, ah. Well, first off, I thought we were going to talk about Star Wars Needlepoint, and I was saying, like, you know what, my game is a little off, but it's time. It's really time that we bring Star Wars Needlepoint into the forefront. But oh, cards, yes, of course, I can totally pivot. A little unprepared. Let me put my stuff away here, and I'm totally ready to talk about cards with you. No,
Well, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Needle points number 30 on my list right now. So we'll get there eventually and we'll
we're
have you
coming
back
for
for
you,
the new part.
29. We're coming
There,
for you.
there you go. There you go. But Star Wars trading cards, I know you, of course, are our trading card guru when it comes to all things trading cards, which is why I wanted to have you on for this conversation. And I figured now would be a good time as any, as we had just got the Topps Chrome 2025 series released in the last little bit, and I know you've gotten some packs. I've gotten some packs. I actually have my last booster box in my hand that I have not opened yet. It is still wrapped in the plastic. I have not opened it like I have the other two, which the other two are right here opened, beautiful. But there's so much history with these cards and so much history in card trading altogether that, and there's so many designs, so many styles for so many lines of collections of cards that, it's hard to just sit back and take it all in because, they've been doing Star Wars cards since the movie came out in 77.
Exactly.
So there has been there's a huge swath out there of cards. Of course, like I said, debuting in 77 with the blue series of the cards there, and they are still. I mean, you can still find them out there today. You just have to look. They're in
Well, and
place.
just remember those things were printed,
Mm-hmm.
in the millions. Star Wars was an incredibly popular series, and Topps had been doing, sport and non-sport. Topps, they really kind of cut their teeth in 1951 when they started doing baseball. And there was a book I was reading on the plane over the weekend where Bowman had been locking up player contracts and all this kind of stuff, and Topps really kind of came in mainly because of a gentleman, Cy Berger, who worked for Topps, who really was pushing the gum company. It's like, we really need to get into baseball and help design, some of those sets. And, by 1955, Bowman was kind of done. And so 1956, basically to about 81, Topps had carte blanche for baseball. No one else was doing it. But Topps had been doing non-sport, for a long time, also since, the 50s with all kinds of aliens and creature sets and, tie-ins to movies and things. If you think about everything from like, King Kong to Planet of the Apes to TV shows, Incredible Hulk, Three's Company, all this stuff and continues on. But, Star Wars really just was a cash cow for him, and it kind of came back many series. And then, when Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi came out, they just kept making these cards, about 10 of the vintage sets. And then, it took a break for a while. And in the 90s, during that kind of the tail end of that big card boom, the junk wax era, as they like to call it, they started back with Galaxy. And we were fortunate enough to have, Sean McTaggart on, who was the product manager for the Galaxy set, the original one. And so, yeah, they've been doing Star Wars cards ever since. The only thing now is that when Fanatics, the people who make all that fine sports apparel, bought Topps during the COVID era, we're kind of wondering, they locked up all those sports, those sports, leagues and so forth, with the exception of the NHL. And we're wondering, all right, what's going to happen? And we're starting to see it. We've had a huge card boom since COVID. Everybody discovered all the cards in their closet, and we've had a lot of high-end sets these last couple of years. But it's nice that with a set like you're talking about, like we're talking about tonight with Topps Chrome, this is one that, hey, you and me and everybody can kind of get their hands on and not feel like they have to break the bank. They're not, we don't have to, they're not all Air Jordans, kids. These are actually stuff that you can go out. And I'm hoping, because it just came out on August 20th, that as we get into it, we can kind of let you know, like, not only these cards awesome, but maybe we can let you know where you can find them, and maybe some tips for, what do you want to do with it? That kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up growing up, when I was stateside, I did collect cards. I was big into baseball cards, loved my baseball cards, still have my, not what value's not what it could have been if the story was different, but still got my rookie Jose Canseco locked up, and
nice.
my rookie Bo Jackson locked up, so I got from a young age. But then I also got into, when they weren't doing Star Wars cards at that time, but I was big into Star Trek. So I found all the Next Generation cards, got those, and it was a fun collection to have. Then of course, I got out of collecting for years, and then of course got back into Star Wars. And then in the last couple of years, meeting you, talking to you, and listening to Rebel Base Card, I've picked up the bug again. And it has been fun. But I have noticed a dramatic change in how you go card shopping now.
Exactly.
I remember back in the day, I'd walk into any store. I'd walk into Walmart. I'd walk into Kmart. Or I just dated myself, and go into these places, grab a pack or two. They'd have a box sitting there. I'd grab one or two packs. $5 later, I was out the door, and I was good to go. And I was happy. I was excited. It was all about the chase. You open the cards. But now, and I don't know if this has been your experience, my experience, I can't find cards anywhere. I even my local card shops, they have the football cards and baseball cards, and they have a lot of the old junk wax, as they call it, there that you can still buy. But like the Star Wars cards, you can't. I couldn't find them anywhere. I got these. I would much rather buy these boxes, at a local card shop and help a small business. I couldn't find them. I had to order. Two of these I got from Fanatics on a pre-order, and this one I got from Amazon because Amazon limited me to one box per order.
But at least Amazon was there for us
Yeah.
because, when I got back into cards right around the time that the Force Awakens was coming out, with the Journey to where, oh my gosh, you had, you know, Walgreens, Target,
Yep.
Toys R Us, you had these different
Yeah.
exclusive releases with them, and you could find them. And I saw them because they were on these end caps at Target,
Mhm.
which for a long time that's all I bought was anything that I could find at Target, whether it was Resistance, with the hanger
Yep.
boxes. In some cases, you could still buy individual packs as well as blasters, but kind
Mhm.
of blasters kind of became the pack. But
Yeah.
even then, um, not all Targets and Walmarts were created equal. And so you'd find maybe a box or two at one store, you wouldn't find it. Now, of course, in an area like Chicagoland where I can go 20, 30 minutes in any direction and stumble across a Target, I might have to go to all those in order to
Mhm.
find one of them that has it. And so of the last couple of years, surprisingly, GameStop has kind of come into cards. They've really gotten into it, whether they, have helped people like submit to PSA if somebody wanted to protect or slab their card, as it were, but also being able to offer hobby boxes as well as blasters. On occasion at decent prices, along with the other cards. So I'm like, if you're a
Mhm.
card collector, you have the big online presences, the Dave and Adams, the blowout cards, the
Yeah.
Steel City Collectibles in Pittsburgh. Here we have Chicagoland Sports Cards, which does a lot of online ordering. But I was happy to see not only GameStop come in, but I did order a blaster or two through Amazon, and I'm like, I just wanted to get one
Mhm.
or two, and I was happy they had them.
Yeah.
So the thing that's disappointing to me is that I would like it to be where you just kind of stumble upon it.
In the
Whether you
wild.
even find like, I've kind of started to kind of think maybe baseball is maybe a way I want to go because one, baseball is still sold everywhere, so
Mhm.
the flagship property that Topps has, you can find them in individual. You can go to Five Below and five individual packs of
Yeah.
baseball. You can get blasters if you want to. You can get the jumbo boxes. You can go to Costco, which I have seen for Star Wars Chrome. That
Yeah.
was been a late entry as well. If the scalpers don't get there first,
Sure.
but you want it to, I try to tell my audience, I'm like, I want it to remain fun. And so, although I'm a little more serious about collecting, my audience mostly isn't.
Yeah.
And although y'all have money, because sometimes people make a play at a HasLab, or they go to a
Hmm.
convention and get, it's not a question of like having the kind of money. It's about like when am I here making that purchase? And
Yeah.
in some cases, I find that the Star Wars trading card app, to be almost the perfect vehicle because it's there if you want to pick. You're on your phone anyway.
Mhm.
You can pay to play, as it were, with the more expensive packs, or you can free play it and be perfectly content. And there's a lot of crossover because a lot of the
Mhm.
physical does make it into the digital app. And so it's gotten trickier. It's not gotten as spur of the moment. It's still there, but the release that we're talking about with Chrome is the one I think most people are going to be able to find and find at a price point that they can agree with if they want to take a stab. But considering some of the properties we've had,
Yeah.
like with Skeleton Crew and Ahsoka and Acolyte, here's where you can find their cards.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about maybe getting them signed later, some of these debut cards, these are really gorgeous cards to maybe
Mhm.
go and have someone put a wet signature on it, and it'd be great. What a great collectible that would be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things that, you know, that's and I've told you I'm thinking about doing that with some of these cards for Ocala Comic Con coming up. Taking some of these up and getting them signed and seeing what I can do, because I know Manny Jacinto is going to be there, the Stranger, and with these new shows like you mentioned, Skeleton Crew and Acolyte, and we're getting all, especially with this new 2025 set, we're getting these cards, we're getting these characters in their cards, and the inserts too. This 2025 set has the inserts for Skeleton Crew and for Acolyte, which has been absolutely incredible to see too, because you're getting those images of episodes and stuff that you're used to getting in previous, like when with the Star Trek ones I talked about when I had growing up, you'd buy it. They had them by season. You buy the
Hmm.
season one pack. All right, these are all shots from episodes from season one, and you get these shots for Acolyte and for especially Skeleton Crew. I loved Skeleton Crew.
Mm.
It's been so much fun to see those cards come through as we go.
Yeah, I was
So,
just looking also in here, and something that Chrome did last year and this year was, now, in sports or in, let's say, in baseball, you'll have like a rookie card in where Topps will put, RC on. So a player, like a Paul Skeens, right? The
mhm,
big pitcher for the Pirates, on his rookie cards, they'll have RCs. And even they started doing something where last year where they would, when he made his first appearance, his uniform actually had a special patch on it
yep.
that was a debut patch, and Topps took that and made it sort of a one-on-one. I think some kid pulled that, and it was so now it's fun to like watch a baseball game. And so if you hear them talking about like, hey, this is his first appearance, I'll go looking for the first appearance patch. And then when the a lot of the rookies tend to come in this Topps update set that comes out in
Hmm.
November, and there's some rookies that I'm kind of looking for. Like I don't know if I'm going to get lucky and pull something like that, but I would. You know, Following a season going, oh, hey, I'd like to have, this catcher for the Sox, Kyle Till. I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind having his rookie card. And I think it's probably going to show up. And I'm kind of curious, Colson Montgomery and all this. So, Star Wars having the debut medallions on there, like in this one, I pulled like a null. This is Neil's dad.
Okay.
And, it's one. And actually, funny enough, at LFCC, I met the actor's dad. Uh, it was the second day. And I think Jamie Richards, the guy, an artist, was getting. I think he was asking some questions on behalf of Star Wars Sessions, and the dad was there. Dad kind of manages. I forget the actor's name off the top of my head, but I was like, I'm gonna go over and get a selfie with Neil's real dad, and he was very fun. Like here's a teacher droid. That's also has a debut. Like there's tons
Yeah.
of them, but this would be fun because sometimes you'll probably get some of these people that'll show up and they're not an incredibly expensive uh autograph or and now as you've seen prices go up, but I'm like that'd be a hoot if Who's What's It shows up in this. Neil's dad shows up and I go, hey, I got something for you to sign right there, and they probably get a kick out of it.
Oh
They
yeah.
don't, they might not even know they have a card.
Exactly. Exactly. You see, I like these Skeleton Crew
Oh,
inserts
those are
personally. These are just absolutely gorgeous, and
a
the way
great
they come
insert
through,
set.
they really are. And of course, you got the debut patches or points as well with there. That's the Skull Ridge Mountain Hoteler. They never gave her a name, and she had a lot of lines. She's
Trust me,
just a
it'll show up on
hoteler.
Wikipedia one of these days for
It,
sure.
it probably will, or it'll show up in a behind the scenes book for Skeleton Crew, Art of Skeleton Crew or something like that, which we need to get one of those out. And there's Luthen,
That's a great
Real.
card.
That's a beautiful card, man. And one thing I love about these Chrome cards is just how the finish on it, the reflective finish, that it adds a layer of just status to the card almost. It makes it feel that much more special when you're looking at it because of how it refracts the light when it hits it. And it just is so much fun. And what impressed me too, especially with this set, is the shout out to Star Wars Resistance.
There we go.
Craig and Gore. Yep.
Yes.
Craig and Gore, the pirate captain, in there as well. So, I mean, there've been this is a fantastic set that they have been releasing.
An improvement, I think, on last year's that, oftentimes with the Chrome cards, they'll have a tendency to curl a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell that with my 2024. But this one, as soon as I opened them up, it was a thicker card.
Mm-hmm.
It felt a little thicker. It lays flat. I think the backgrounds are last year's backgrounds, a little grungy, a little dirty. And
Yeah.
this one seemed a lot cleaner. You don't have the borders on the front, or at least the partial borders. And so I think someone would find if they opened one of these, and I had Kara DJ from Into a Larger World. She opened some Chrome. That's in the vault. I've got to get those shows turned around, but it's one of those where, this is a 200 card base set, so it's a little bigger. So someone may not be interested in so much like, I don't need to complete and get all 200 cards. Now with the blasters, right? You can get an autograph. It's going to be a hard get. But I think if I said to you, like, well, you could get a guaranteed auto if you paid $250 to $300 a box, and you'd say, Greg, thank you very much. I'll stick to my $30 blaster. But there are exclusives to the blaster. There's an exclusive variant, this Ray Wave, that is really sharp. And with the new backgrounds, it looks really nice. There are insert sets that are only going to be in the blasters. I think one of my favorite, there was a kind of almost like a color by numbers, and I was looking for it in the box, and yes, there is Star Wars by the numbers.
Yes.
And it looks like those old school, coloring books where they'd have numbers all over it. And they would correspond to like, hey, in this section it's going to be a 7, the next section is going to be a 7, 6. And, it's kind of a finish that, I could snake some of my kids' markers. And, you know what? Hey, it was the worst thing in the world. I had some fun, and we were going like, well, what colors? You come up with your own colors, man. I mean, this is your card.
Make it up as you go.
Make it up as you go along, but have fun with it. I think you keep coming back to that. Oh, that Rex.
Rex is gorgeous.
This is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who wasn't like a serious card collector would go, hey, this is fun because, I remember that character. Oh, that's that character's name. And you might get one blaster and just be perfectly happy. It goes back in, it goes into your collection and be that. What I've noticed in the past, and we've talked about this with previous releases, is that even though the card number count is a little lower, or even I think last year, I think you could get 40 cards to a blaster, right?
Yeah.
But if the complete base set's 100, it wouldn't take you that many boxes, 2 or 3 boxes, and you'd start getting a lot of duplicates. Hey, which is still fine. Go trade with your friends. That's what these cards are about. But
exactly,
for someone like me going, this is probably one of the only, I would say, pedestrian releases of the year. And we've had a number of them, from Antiquities to Hyperspace, Chrome Black, Masterwork, but those are all high-end sets. I don't mind a long chase. I could see myself over a number of months getting maybe 5 or 6 blasters, and probably getting a decent chunk on a set. And then my duplicate count may be down a little bit. But as you were talking with the Skeleton Crew and Acolyte insert sets, I'm like, those are legit chases, rather than just a random set of like, Heroes of the Alliance and something like, whoa, they didn't release any Skeleton Crew or Acolyte cards. I would love to get some.
Oh, exactly. I would love to as well. And it's one of those, and I'm glad you answered that question. I was going to ask you the question anyway about how many if you knew how many cards were in the base set for this, because I was curious about that and I just hadn't had time to look it up. 200. That's a lot more than I anticipated.
It sounds bad, but I would say, like I said, if you're getting 40 cards per box, and you're probably going to get, I think there's 8 packs, 5 cards per pack.
Okay.
3 of those cards are probably going to be base cards or maybe a refractor. You're probably going to get an inserter or, I think you get 4 of those cool ray wave variants per blaster. So the thing of it is that you get another blaster. It's like it's always like the odds go down of like, the first blaster you get you don't have any of those cards, but by second, third blaster, you're starting to get like less of stuff you don't have and more stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think because the set's larger, you could go longer and still just go, oh, hey, I'm on a Target run, or it's payday. I'm going to hit Amazon before I get out of the office. Yes, I'm buying an Amazon and then I'll get it on Monday. And that can, so, Prime Day is always around, seemingly always around the corner. So always. But that's where I'm like, I'm not in a big hurry to finish this, but I am excited to just go. And so I still have a blaster that I haven't opened yet. GameStop lost. I think my one of my pre-orders is sitting in a warehouse, and I'm like, that's fine. It's there. Yeah. Some of it's paid for, because you get GameStop. The best thing about it is if you want to do a pre-order, you have to put $5 down. There you go, and I'll pay for. It's like who, but you remember Kmart used to do layaway.
Yep.
If you want to talk about Kmart, but so I'm like, no, this is fine. I'll enjoy the chase. I don't feel like I have to gather it all right away. It may not be on shelves long, but I know that once the craze goes down, I'm probably going to see it, whether I find it in a GameStop, whether I see it on Amazon, because I'm sure that Amazon had to get, they had to get a lot to Amazon in order, to get probably to satisfy their requirements. And I think that's also why there are 3 different variants of the blaster that if you go to tops.com/checklists or you do it, there is there are different, like there is the hobby box. And when we talk about hobby box, these are the ones that you would normally find in your local card shop. They are more expensive, but the odds of getting something really good are lower. It used to be you could get about a full set in a hobby box. Those days are long gone. Yeah. But, whether it was your hit was a high numbered, low numbered variant or an autograph or maybe a sketch card or a plate or something like that. There's something called a Breaker's Delight, which if you go onto Whatnot or you go onto Instagram, some of these, these breakers, and what they do is they get a lot of boxes and they actually will sell slots, or they might do a character like, hey, any character that starts with an A, you want to buy into that one. And it's almost like a little bit of gambling, but it's definitely been a big chunk of the hobby. It's its own thing. But Breaker's Delights are more expensive boxes than hobby boxes, but they have more hits. And then you have what you call the value boxes or blasters. And these are, in this case, there are a few different ones. Their variations and their odds are just slightly different. But I have a feeling that, like, say, for example, your larger distributors may get some of the little better blasters, but may also charge a little more for them.
Yeah.
Amazon may get a little more pedestrian version, but at the end of the day, they're all going to be the same, mostly the same kind of cards in it, other than just variants that might go into one another. Now, last we found out Costco's been getting into the game, so they have what they call these jumbo boxes, and they might even have a large one that's exclusive, and a card or 2 that's exclusive just to Costco's.
Yeah.
And so you might find them. I think the price they were going for $39, let's just say $40. And if, like I said, it's one of those things, they'll show up in the darndest places. Pokemon has also been, you've been able to find them in Costco's. And so, like I said, I'm happier that they're in more places. I certainly don't recommend hobbies unless, for example, I saw on one of the big sites, they were selling hobby boxes of last year's Chrome for about $150. And I was like, that's about a hobby box price. Anywhere from like about $80 to $150 used to be like back in the day. This is back in the day prices. But If you can wait, you can generally find a good deal.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the Costco ones online the other day, and I was like, that's not bad. That looked like a nice little set there. Cause a big old box. It has one jumbo card in there, then 10 regular packs, then 3 special packs. Um, it was $39.99. I'm like, man, I need the closest Costco's in Brandon, so it's about 40 minutes away, doable. But I don't have now I just got to find somebody with a Costco membership, and I may bring one home.
And trust me, anybody like myself who has Costco memberships, if you're getting out of there under 200, it's amazing. So it's like you could probably hide a Star Wars thing in it, like, hey, we're gonna get the paper towels and napkins, and we're gonna get this and that, and that just gets it in there. I don't know, hun, how that got in there. And by the way, would you like a dollar hot dog? And then that's how you get out of there. But yeah, find a buddy with a Costco membership. But yeah, like I said, it's frustrating because they aren't more readily available for you
Mm-hmm.
to kind of like, oh, do I want or not? So you have to be a little more. But even then, like if we were talking about action figures or Legos and
Yeah.
things like that, not all stores are made equal. And sometimes you go to these stores and it might be the only storage you have, and those
Yep.
shelves are pretty bare. And so if you're a figure collector or or you like the books even,
Yeah.
not all Barnes and Nobles are made equal. And yes, we could probably get it online, but wouldn't it be great to, while
Yeah.
we were out doing errands, oh, hey, let's stop in a bookstore. Uh, your community may still have them. You remember Borders, don't you?
Yeah.
Since we're going to throw out Kmart's. Um, but
And Walden Books.
oh, Walden Books.
Yeah.
Moment of silence, please.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Well, see, I'm excited because they just announced this past week we're getting at Barnes and Noble again.
Nice.
Our Lakeland had one years ago, and it shut down, and the property it was on turned into a Chick-fil-A, uh, Krispy Kreme, and a store called Ollie's.
Yeah, we have an Ollie's up here, way out there. But
yeah. So, but now since Party City went under, now Party City's gone. They have just announced that they're putting a Barnes and Noble in there. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is the greatest news ever. I am stoked.
And if you have not been in a Barnes and Noble of late, they are like, we have a number of them here. You're finding Lego in there, gaming products. So if you like your D&D, you want to get your game on, a lot of box games. Still, you can find some of your, heck, DVDs and movies. But
Yeah.
I was in one and I'd forgotten, like, the one closest to me is okay. It's a little small, but we were out at a different one. I'm like, man, the periodicals in there. I'm like, the magazines. I'm like, yeah, this was great. Everything. And, even for card collectors, like, Beckett's, their vintage collector, non-sport update. That's the, like, go to the craft section of a Barnes and Noble, like in the periodicals, and they're like these bagged magazines with like legit things of yarn and stuff. I'm like, so yeah, if you just like kind of going and just kind of walking around, it's like, imagine like, the Starbucks with a little less pretension.
Yeah. So I'm excited because of where it's located. I can now send my wife into Hobby Lobby, and I can go to Barnes and Noble because they are neighbors now, or it will be when it opens. So I don't have to walk through Hobby Lobby anymore, which means my wallet comes with me.
Nah. We thought it was safe when Joanne Fabrics, also, by the way, moment of silence, went out. But yeah, then all that Plaza's missing is a Five Below and a Marshalls, and we're
actually
good, right?
It does have a Five Below and a Marshalls. It does have a Five Below, a Marshalls, and a Ross.
Ross needs to step up their game a little bit. If we want to take the podcast down this road, you put a Ross and a Marshalls. I'm going into Marshalls every time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And when you're done and you're hungry, there's also a Taco Bell and a Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, there you go. Let's make it.
Spend the whole day in the week, right there. I'm good.
You know, you get
So,
your local pastor, you go, you know what, I think our church would go great right there. And then
hmm
you park there, you get day-long parking.
yep.
We're gonna go from church, we're gonna go to the roadhouse, and then we're just gonna spend, and then, then all of a sudden it's time for Sunday night football. Right there you go.
There you go.
Or
There you
60
go.
minutes, whatever it is in your local area.
Yep. Speaking of football, my Washington team is getting their butts kicked right now by
My
Green
son went
Bay.
out. Oh no.
They're beating. They're losing, but it's okay. It's halftime. Still a lot of football to go. But trading cards, I still have this unopened blaster.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We'll do it. And of course, we are recording video on this, so don't be surprised if you see some of the video pop up of us of me opening these cards here. I think it's
Yeah, I have to apologize for the mood lighting. I'm not necessarily in my normal video spot, but Chopper's doing me a lot of good back here. So
hey, you know what? That's all that matters.
there
See?
we go. He's right over there.
Here's the box. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards, or 8 packs, I should say. Each pack has
Master Soul.
Master Soul on the front, and each pack contains cinco, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. You ready for pack one?
Let's do it.
Do it. Here we go. I can already tell you I'm happy with the back card there.
What did we
Yeah,
get?
here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yord Fandor right there. That's awesome.
Get your Yord Horde on. Nice.
Yep. And then we got Watto.
And
That's
I
a
think
nice
we
card.
got one. That's one of the Ray Wave variants.
Yes.
You can see the wavy ones.
Yep. Then we got these are one of the Outer World Oddity cards.
That is one of the insert sets.
One of the inserts of the Accolade. Oh, too low. The Accolade.
Now, something while you're going through these, there is a variant called a refractor, right? Now, these things
Mhm.
have sort of a shiny reflective tint to them, but you'll also notice there is a refractor variant. And when we talk about variants, they're just sometimes they can be different colors of the same, of the same card. And sometimes those variants are rare enough that they'll be numbered, like say to 100 or 200, or like say to 99, 199, and so forth. So just look at if you see something that looks a little odd, make sure to look on the back to see if it's a refractor or B if it's a numbered variant. You want to make sure to kind of set those on the side because
Mhm.
those are the little more rare ones.
Oh, there's Sherwood from Rogue One. And the one I said I was happy to see, Bix
Bix, there we
from
go.
Andor.
Yay.
That was the first pack. Decent first pack. Got some good cards in there.
Exactly. Now, as you were saying, these inserts, so these are little set within a sets. There are a number of them in here. We had the aforementioned Skeleton Crew, Acolyte,
Mhm.
Otherworld Oddities. We also have Star Wars by the Number. That's the one that looks like the coloring book one. We have Galactic Graffiti, Tribute to, and these are ones I don't think you'll see in the blasters, but they look like the 1975 Topps baseball one. And if you've ever seen 1975, go ahead and Google it. It's a crazy looking set. But there's a lot more. Double visions, bonus stages, Kyber lights, reflections, comic fractor, one with the force, and so some of these will be exclusive to certain boxes. But yeah, typically your pack will have a few base cards and a couple of inserts.
Wendell
Ooh, nice.
from Skeleton Crew.
His debut card.
Yep. And this one is yes, excellent. Sokatano.
Nice. With the New Republic logo
New
behind it.
Republic
Very nice.
logo. Yeah, I was noticing that. That's nice add there. Here we go. You mentioned one of the Skeleton Crew inserts. Here we go. Supervisor revealed.
Oh, nice.
Love that.
Plus a lot of good text on the background. So I think folks
Yeah,
will be
show you
very
the
pleased with
back
these.
of the card too.
There we go.
Yeah, those are nice inserts. Um, Well, I think I say I got another Sokatano, two duplicate card in the same pack.
Tradables. I love it.
Yep, there we go. And we'll wrap this pack up with good old IG-11.
IG-11. Nice.
I love how Bounty Hunter has the
The
New
Republic
Republic
logo.
logo on there. I mean, he does end up working for the New Republic, but it
Yeah, I
just
guess the guild doesn't have a whole lot of marketing, so
apparently not. All right, here comes the next pack.
what do we got?
Huang.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
I
a
love that.
nice card. And we got Poggle the Lesser.
Another one of your Ray Wave
Ray-
ones. Very
Mhm.
nice. I think I know what's coming.
I'm
I
going to
think
set that
judging
to
by
the
that
side and
reaction,
save that one for
fair enough.
Oh, all right. Let's skip to the next two
I
cards.
guess
Okay.
this is going on TikTok.
Oh, so there's 3PO.
Nice.
3PO. I don't know which one of these. I'll do this one first because the other one is a big pull.
He's excited, folks. He got his chopper.
Got my chopper. Got my chopper. And if I'm saying I did this chopper before the next one because this one is something.
Wow.
You ready for this?
Uh-oh. What's coming? Ah, speaking of those, 75.
71 of 75.
Oh, look at that numbered. Parallel.
Yes, numbered parallel. Let's get that back on there.
That is sweet. That is a great hit. Great pull,
That
kid.
is a great pull. Oh, let's set that one to the side there. Got to find my protectors.
Yeah,
There's-
get yourself
there's-
your penny sleeves and your
They're still in a box somewhere. I got to find them. They're one of the boxes I have not unpacked yet.
maybe
So
we'll have to send you down an emergency kit.
all right, here we go. Here's this is what pack number 4. So this will be halfway through. Amon Grimm
Nice.
from Solo.
Oh, I like it. I like the logo I have on the back.
Yes.
That's interesting. Would that be?
Well, that's the Crimson Dawn logo.
Ah, look at you, Johnny, on the spot. Very
That's
nice.
Crimson Dawn. Yep. Because it's the necklace that Kira wore.
Ah,
So I got another
another
Rex there.
We might be talking about that Rex card. I'm telling you.
Well, you got it, bro. I got you. I got you hooked up, bro. Ah, here we go. That is nice.
I like that acolyte.
That is nice. Yes, for Nestra Rowe with her purple whip. Very nice. Good old Ezra Bridger.
Put that with your chopper.
Exactly. And Deidre Marrow.
Nice.
Nice pulls. Nice pulls. Nice pulls. It's going to be hard to beat that last pack, though.
I'm telling you, yeah. I think that's a good hit.
That's a great hit. I'm excited about that one. I am excited about that one. Here we go. Just Pava.
Nice.
And I don't recognize this character from the Acolyte. Kabuk. Where's that from? I just don't recognize it from the Acolyte.
Yeah, I was trying to think of
barkeep.
Oh, at the very
Usa,
beginning
yes.
when
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
That's the barkeep where Endara got killed. We got the Pike boss on that wave.
Great Ray wave. Nice.
The trash crab.
And a debut card at that.
Yes. It's from Skeleton Crew. If y'all haven't watched it, y'all need to go watch Skeleton Crew. Then, of course, Skeleton Crew as well, another debut card.
Now that's a card I'm looking for.
Wood.
I am looking for that card.
All right. Well, let's see if we get another one and we can talk. That's a nice card right there.
He has autographs in this set, which I can imagine.
Really?
Not only are they probably going to be rare, but they're also, I don't think he probably signed as many as
I'm
others.
sure.
And so the Jude Law, and that was in the, I'll have to take a picture or send you a picture of the sell sheet that I have, the PDF that I have on this set. And yeah, that'd be one of those, like, that'd be a sweet auto right there. But I don't think there are many of them.
Mayor Mock Shies.
From Book of Boba Fett.
Yep.
Boy, and I was just thinking, I'm like, you know what? I am kind of due, as much as we kind of, it's not usually up there into people's favorites. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of due for a Book of Boba Fett rewatch.
I actually did that when I was taking all that time off with my mom being sick and everything. I actually did rewatch Book of Boba Fett to kill some time. There was a lot of fun.
Ooh, Dr. Gorst. That's a great card.
That's a nice one. Also a debut. Oh, here we go. SM33 Skeleton Crew.
Ooh, nice.
And you see Snowball sticking out his other eye real quick.
Ah.
Nice. Okay. Then we got Skeleton Crew, right? Yeah. Marie from Skeleton Crew.
Once again, I love the emblems in the back.
I
know,
for 2024.
Nice, for 2024, they were different colors. The factions are different colors. But with this, it pops a little more, and I like seeing it. A little extra lore in your card.
And another debut with Mother Anasia.
Nice.
From Acolyte. Nice. We got 2 more packs to go through. And so, I mean, I could stop right now and I'd be happy with the pulls I've gotten. So, I mean, I will say, even with my 2024 packs that I got, I didn't get hits like that. So that's nice. I'm stoked. And we're going to continue with the Anasia family with Osha.
Nice. Also debut.
Yep. And here's another debut with Runa.
Ooh, and a Ray Wave.
Yep. Oh, here we go. Color by number.
Which one did you get? Ooh, Max Rebo. Which, by the way, I'm going to go on record. I did not find the Max Rebo toy at Disneyland, and I was looking for it.
What?
Yeah, it was. There was something, and I know that like both Ross Holloman and Greg was like, "Dude, you need to find that." I'm like, I was looking, I couldn't find it, I couldn't find it in some of the stores on the property. I couldn't find it in the Galactic Trading Post. I was kind of bummed, but
yeah,
maybe I was just too high on the blue milk. I don't know. I wasn't looking in the right places.
It sold out while you're grabbing blue milk. Nemec, Mandor, and of course, Costco Reeves.
Nice.
Very nice. Like that Max Rebo. That's pretty cool. All right.
And there's another one, like, even if you didn't like, even the numbers is like, all right, Max is blue, and the rest of it, you just make it up.
Exactly. All right. This is it. Last pack.
Savoring the moment. I see a smile. He's gotten something. I wonder if that Hera card, that elusive Hera card's out there still. Yeah, I was going to say. Called it. Sabine might be in there as well.
Marvel Skeen.
There we go.
From Andor. Here we go. Acolyte inserts. I got to remember where the camera is on this thing. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say that that smile was not indicative of you pulling Toro Calican from Mando season one.
That's true.
Ooh,
Farah.
nice.
And the last card from this pack from Andor, Wellman.
Hmm. Owen Bach.
Wellman Puck. But that's it. That's the entire pack there. And definitely the pull of the century.
That
This guy
is
right
great from
here.
a blaster, and that just like I said, um, it's going to be difficult to hit some of these things, but I would say that it's a pleasant experience. You didn't pay a mint. What did you buy? Three blasters overall.
3 blasters overall. Yeah.
So you figure 120 cards. You've probably got a decent chunk, a decent start on the base so far.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, a good start it, and a lot of great ones, and
Yeah.
once you kind of get maybe into like like if you start thinking about like maybe I want to start putting these into a binder, uh, you're at the point where probably start maybe thinking about some, and then you got a page for your acolyte, page for your
Yep.
skeleton crew, page for maybe the random ones, and then you'll start to kind of see as you kind of put a binder together. The story this set's kind of telling,
Yeah.
each set kind of has a story of how they clump these, who they choose, and then if you find a con in your area or something that you go, oh, hey, that's someone's a signer. Um, the 8x10s are always there for them to sign. But if
Mhm.
you're looking for something a little unique or want to make one of these base cards a little more valuable, then you could see if they can sign one of your
Mhm.
tops 2025 Chrome.
Exactly. That exactly. And we're gonna see what we can do. And I do have some binders here. I did find my binders. They're ready
Yay.
to go. So, but yeah, it is this is to me this is so much fun. I love going through, and it's just something about getting a. And I love the card trader app. And that's fun. You get some beautiful cards, great designs, and you actually have the ability to have a better chance at getting some of these uh specialty inserts that you don't get, that you have a better chance in the game in the app than you do in real life at some points. But there's just something about opening a pack,
Mm-hmm.
having it in your hand, and then just one, the excitement of just seeing what cards you got, but then of course getting a pull like I just got there. It just the exhilaration makes me want to go buy 3 more boosters.
But also something that may be in your area as well. And we've talked about it before. Um, but Star Wars Unlimited, which
Mhm.
is the fantasy flight game, they've had a number of releases. Uh, they have had two this year,
Yeah.
and these packs you can find in a lot of places, including like if you have a place that sells Pokemon or Magic, you can
Hmm.
find it. You might have a dedicated gaming store in your area, but there's a lot of original art that's going in those sets, and those I think are like about 12, 15 cards. I think it's a lot of cards, and if you get enough of them, you can play a game with it.
Yeah.
But I know that we had Legends of the Forest was just released
Yeah.
in July. Secrets of Power, and that kind of features old Papa Palps. If you look at some of their pre-release images, that comes out in November. But we had
Okay.
jumped to Lightspeed earlier, and
Yep.
so that's where we had some ships and things like that. But if you're just looking for a quick, what I like is those packs I can usually find for about $5,
Yeah.
either at one or two of the stores, gaming stores I see in our area, and it's kind of nice because that way I'm like, you know what, I've played before, I'll probably play again at some point, but
Hmm.
if I'm just looking for something fun to rip, and there's a lot of great art and a lot of great Star Wars moments in it, yeah, I've seen some choppers.
Yep.
I've seen some ghosts and Heras and artwork from people who I've even talked to on the podcast. So it's also a fun, it's a fun substitute, but it's like there are also variants inside there and really nice ones. So yeah, don't that's just the Chrome is the big game right now,
Hmm.
but don't skimp on Star Wars Unlimited. I think you could really have some fun open up a couple of packs and check out and see if they have some nights where they can teach you how to play the game.
Yeah, I've actually, we've talked about Unlimited before off the air. We've discussed it several times, and I do have several unlimited unlimited packs that I actually had a deck and stuff built up to start playing the game till the flood happened. So now I'm trying to rebuild a deck to get where I can start playing again, because my local shop does do game nights on Friday nights. They do unlimited, I want to say it is. They do unlimited game nights, and I've talked to them several times. They're like, yeah, come in, we'll teach you.
See?
And they
Make a friend, make a buddy,
yeah.
and
Yeah, so they know me as a Star Wars guy, because that's all that's I walk in, they're like, oh, I got your Star Wars comics ready.
there you go. And sometimes, they might just be as interested in what you pull as you do.
Yep.
Sometimes, I've seen this at stores where it's like, hey, we're going to crack open some, and it might be on a draft night where everybody's there and you can flip through and might be able to trade.
Yep.
Or some people, like I said, in some stores, I've even seen it where some of the locations and some of the, your main characters, your heroes or whatnot are so prevalent, they'll help you fill out, get a deck going,
Mhm.
because people want to play, and why not? It's fun, right?
Yeah,
That's what the hobby's all
exactly.
about.
Exactly. So yeah, well, I mean, we're getting late into the show. We better start moving stuff down to where we can wrap things up. But it has been so much fun talking to you and getting to go through all of these cards and everything with you. And hopefully it's piqued people's interest in card collecting again, if not pique their interest for the first time, if not before. So, but if you do want to know a lot more about card collecting, the man to talk to is the man on the other side of the mic here, Mr. Greg. If they want to check out Rebel Base Card or even talk to you about card collecting, how would they go about doing that?
Well, I'm on most of the socials. Instagram is usually where I spend the bulk of my time, whether it's Instagram or X or Blue Sky. I do have a Facebook presence there as well, but you can reach out at Rebel Base Card if you search there. You can email me, Greg at rebelbasecard.com, and I have had people reach out and ask questions. Like I said, Kara DJ from Into a Larger World came on, and we not only ripped a few packs, but we talked about some cards that she was helping a friend. They'd found some vintage. What are we going to do with them? How do we organize them? Should I slab them? So I was able to kind of get her on the right track, so she could keep investigating and
Mhm.
find out how she could, where to go from
Nice.
there. And so you can always, like I said, throw me a DM or reach out through one of those channels. The Rebel Base Card is on, Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can find me on YouTube because we do put the podcast on YouTube. I know I do have some listeners that will have YouTube up, and we'll be there as well. We do a little bit of everything, and so not only talk about cards but collecting. Greg Cass and I do the Breakfast Pack shows, where we, like yourselves, we talk about the new releases coming up. Yeah, it's a bunch of fun. Anthony from Force Coast Conversations came on recently to talk, and like as he did with you, to talk about D23 or Destination D23. We had a nice lengthy conversation. So a lot of good stuff. As soon as I can get it off the computer and in the feeds and into somebody's ears, I'm doing my job. But that's
There you
generally
go.
how they can find me.
Excellent, excellent. Of course, we'll have links to all of Greg's social media and links to Rebel Base Card there in our show notes, so you can access them quickly. Of course, if you do want to reach out and bother David for not being here, you can always reach out and hit him up on Instagram and X. At David underscore Modders on X, and at David Modders on Instagram, I believe is how that goes, or it could be vice versa. I don't remember.
I do believe you're right.
Then, of course, if you want to hit me up, of course, at TA Harris 121079 on X and on Instagram. Of course, all the show socials are available 24/7 for you to message. And of course, I will get back to you as soon as I see your messages. We are on Facebook and X at SW Reactions Pod. We are on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, Pinterest.
There we go.
Pinterest, all at SW Reactions. So look us up there. All the links in the show notes. Email us, swreactions@gmail.com. Or, of course, you can be adventurous and leave us a voicemail. And you can do that at speakpipe.com/Star Wars Reactions. Whew, that was a mouthful.
I was going to say, if you want to be venturous as well as adventurous. I'm taking some of the. I'm taking the dad joke thing away.
He's taking the dad joke. Hey, he's come to play.
I know what show I'm on.
Exactly. So of course, you know, we can't end this without our traditional Star Wars dad joke of the week. And
David's not here to protect me.
David's not here to. Yeah, David's not here to. He's not here to buffer you. So I got one for you.
All right.
You're ready? You're ready? All right. Here we go.
Strap in, kids.
All right, here we go. Which Jedi was usually seen modeling all the new Jedi robes in front of the Jedi Temple?
What Jedi was seen modeling all the new robes at the Jedi Temple? All right.
Anakin Skywalker.
Oh. Ooh. Anakin Skywalker. That's a solid one. That's a solid one. Ooh.
Anakin Skywalker. Yes, Anakin Skywalker. Sometimes it just gets me.
Nope. You're in good form. You're in good form. It's funny.
Greg, I appreciate you jumping on with us tonight and talking all about Star Wars trading cards and ripping a few packs with me tonight.
That was my pleasure. It's always fun to see folks opening cards and what a great hit. So I can't wait to be tagged on TikTok and Instagram Reels seeing that one.
Oh yes, I will have to work to get that one over there as soon as I can. But yes, it has been a blast. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you everybody for joining us and listening in. We are just so happy you spend your time with us. We appreciate you. We love y'all. We're praying for y'all. And we know, of course, I say it week in and week out. We have especially so much going on in this crazy world right now, but just keep spreading kindness, y'all. I mean, let it start with us. Let it start with you. Just change the world one kind action at a time. And we can do it. We can make things better. So remember, this is your place for elegant discussion for more civilized age.
This podcast is not endorsed by the Walt Disney Company or by Lucasfilm Limited. It's intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The official Star Wars website can be found at www.starwars.com. Star Wars. All names, sounds, and any other Star Wars-related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Disney and their respective trademark and copyright holders. All original content of this podcast is the intellectual property of Star Wars Reactions unless otherwise indicated. Star Wars Reactions. Elegant discussion for a more civilized age.